Morning, children. I am Divya. Welcome to biology session. Today we are going to start new chapter. What is science? Children, what do you mean by science? See, it is amazing to think of the facilities available today when compared to primitive era, isn't it? Computers, mobile phones, internet, space shuttles, robotics, hybrid food grains, medicines, etc. are all the result of idea which has originated in some human brains. Okay, and they are known as scientists. They are one of the common people, but the process of thinking will differ. Okay, the in which the scientist will think, in which perspective, the way the scientists think, the scientific method differs. So they are the people who think differently to observe and understand the nature in a specific way. So now let us understand how they think and what are the definitions of science. Let me show the mind mapping. So this is the mind mapping, children. What is science? In this, we need to know the definition of science and need for the science and change, whether science is changing from one era to another era, and scientific methods followed by scientists, and safety in science. If we complete all the topics, then that will be the end of our chapter. Let's go with the definitions of science, children. So, when it comes for the definition, the word science comes from the Latin word scientia. It means knowledge. Science is a concerted human effort to understand or to understand better the history of the natural world and how the natural world works with observable physical evidence as the basis of that understanding. So it is done through observation, isn't it, children? It is done through experimentation. Yes. And science is done through observation and experimentation. Science is a process of thinking also. Science is an organized study of knowledge which is based on experimentation. Science is a tool for searching truths of nature. And science is the way of exploring the world. So you might be getting more questions, science, like some of the questions are primary or fundamental step in scientific thinking. So there are many phenomenon in nature around us which sprout up doubt in our minds. So of course there may be problems. So you might have some questions, scientific thinking, how do you think? So why do leaves fall down from trees after turning yellow, children? Because it is a process of excretion. How do ants identify sweets kept in a tin? Because of the smell. These are all the scientific thinkings, okay? And one more example I would like to give. Why can't we see stars during daytime? Because of glare of sunlight. And why pickles do not spoil but sambar gets spoiled soon? Because we will add more salt in pickles. At the same time, we do not add water in pickles, whereas in sambar, we add minimal salt and we will add water. So, wherever definitely in any food item, if you are adding water, that means there will be accumulation of microorganisms after one particular time. So, it cannot be stored for long. Farmers are afraid of unseasonal rains and uncontrolled pests. How to solve this problem? They will spray pesticides, okay, or else they will go with natural pest controlling methods. They will improve their fields with organic manure, like that, scientifically. And how diseases caused and how it is prevented and cured. These are all the This is all the way the scientists think. So now I would like to introduce scientists who deal with different branches of science, children. Ecologist. Ecologist observes the behavior of different organisms living in different habitats. Habitat is place where the animal live, like crows live on trees, right? Tigers live in forest, fish live in water, and earthworms live in soil, right? Yeah. Habitat is nothing but the place where an organism live. Geologist studies the distribution of fossils and minerals in the earth's crust. Next, astrophysicist studies about the stars. He will take the photographs of stars, planets, and distant galaxies. Next, you have climatologist. Climatologist draws data from weather balloons. He will give us what will be the condition of the weather. He will give about the rain which is going to come, very like how much the amount of the rain will be, and how much sunny the day would be. All the weather conditions are given by climatologist. Okay. Next, chemist. Chemist observes the rate of one chemical reaction at different temperatures, children. They will do all the experiments, and this will come under experimental science. This nuclear physicist also come under experimental science, like records the result of angular momentum of a particular particle in the circular path. It deals with physics. He deals with physics, okay? Next, I would like to talk about biologist. He observes the reaction of particular tissues, how the living organism is staying, what are the functions in the living organisms, okay? What are the changes that is taking place in tissues, where the interruption of the functions of a body taking place and why it is taking place. Everything is studied by biologist. Next, geneticist. So he tries to understand certain characters are passed from one generation to other generation. Certain characters, you look like your father, you look like your mother, you behave like your grandfather. So these are all nothing but the genes which are carried out from one generation to other generation. So geneticists deal with the DNA study which is being transferred from one generation to the other generation. Next, coming to earth scientists. Develop better models for the prediction of weather. They'll predict when the earthquakes will attack. They will predict about landslides, volcano eruptions, even about the to recover the natural resources like coal, petroleum, ores. Earth scientists will study. Finally, I would like to introduce plant scientists seeking strains or species of high yield fruit plants and crops. He will mix two hybrid varieties and he will develop a new variety. See what he is doing? He is doing drip irrigation technique there, right? He is supplying water to all the plants. So he will take care of the water, he will take care of the growth of the plant, he will take care of the yield of the plant, etc. Okay. Yes, so these are the scientists which go with different branches of science. Now it's assignment time. First question, I wanted to write down the mind mapping of what is science. Next, give the definitions of science. Next, write about different scientists who deal with different branches of science. They are nothing but just now what I have showed you: ecologist, zoologist, climatologist, astrophysicist, chemist, geneticist, plant scientists. So I wanted everything to be noted with word along with the definitions, along with the branches explanation of what they will do. Okay. I hope you understood the class. Meet you in the next class. Thank you, children.